You are not on the field, court, or ice. You are on the couch. From DG to DC, this is Coaching from the Couch with your host, CWall, delivering coverage for all DC sports teams from the hometown perspective. Nats, Skins, Mystics, DC United, Washington Wizards, Caps, Bowie State.
My name's CWall, I'm a PG girl. Down for my skins, I don't know if you heard. If you like watching sports, then I am your girl. Sit down on the couch if you not on the field. Cold on the ice, pick any sport that you want. Know that I cover it tight. What would you like? From baseball to football and more. The list can go on the whole night. Big shouts out to my HBCU fam. Never forget who I am through the wins and the losses, the highs and the lows. We gotta stay strong, so I stay 10 toes. Make the competition back. The way I kick it, make them mad, man. CWall and we live and direct. Sit back on the couch and relax. Come on.
Welcome everybody to another edition of Coaching from the Couch. I am your host, CWall. Welcome, and welcome again. I need you all to check in because, as you know, we always have a rundown of absolutely all of the highlights and all of the great and wonderful things that are going on in DC sports for the week. So, you all were getting started. Make sure you are tapping in your DC sports loving family and friends because, listen, we're going to always run down the entire list of everything going on. Make sure you all are commenting in the chat so I can acknowledge you and acknowledge your feedback and your questions and your always amazing responses because we have a lot to cover. A lot to cover for certain. And you all already know what it is because we are in the District of Columbia. And you know how sports goes around here. And that is what? When is there a dull moment in DC sports? Never. Absolutely never. You all already know this though, right? You know that, don't you? There's absolutely never a dull moment at all. So I see some of the CWall family is already checking in. I see Joy Butler. You all know CWall team member who monitors the chat each and every single week. I see John Adams has checked in. Cameron Mingo. You all, my mama is on. My mama is on, and you all know that it's a special day for her. I do want everyone to stay on for the end because I definitely have some announcements that I want to share at the end, of course. But hey, listen, tag everybody in. You know, it's been a big week. We've been celebrating different occasions and milestones all week long. So even though there's never a dull moment in DC sports, you know, the CWall Sports and Entertainment family, we can hang out here together and enjoy. So for tonight, we absolutely have a Caps update. Tag in your Caps family and friends. We got a quick Nats update. Tap them in. Wizards. And of course, we're going to close everything out with the Washington football team. Okay? So are you guys ready? Caps up first. Just wanted to show you all the Caps game roster for the Friday night game. This is their last preseason game. So this is take a look really quick at the roster. See everybody on it. I don't know if we've had an opportunity yet with everything going on to even talk about the Caps roster and what it looks like. But this is your Washington Capitals game roster for the last preseason game. So hopefully everybody continues to stay well and healthy. Tune in, of course, Friday night, 7 o'clock, NBC Sports Washington. So we'll see what happens. I know preseason is always kind of like womp womp. You know, nobody really gets into, preseason all like that unless you're me. And I think the CWall Sports and Entertainment family, some of y'all get into it. But wanted to make sure we shared that. Also, this week, Nats fans, tag in your Nats fans. And I know I see Damon and David Hood and others checking in. Make sure you're sharing this show with your DC sports loving family and friends. And make sure you're clicking the like, love, and share button so that I know you all are on, because I always want to try to capture as many comments and shout out as many people as possible. Nats fans, check in. I don't know if you all saw it. I don't know if you all heard, but we absolutely have a clip of the very emotional, may as well say, felt like a goodbye from Ryan Zimmerman and the fans at the Nats game. Absolutely want to share that clip. It was so heartwarming, and you all know I'm a sucker for tears. But Nats fans, if you weren't there or if you haven't seen it yet, we're going to share it right now. Check this out.
And look at Vasquez, the Boston catcher, standing way out on the grass to give Zimmerman time here. That's classy.
Like, were those tears? Oh my gosh. I'm a sucker for tears. Listen, John Adams, you said it right here, right now. Mr. National. It is so difficult not to feel all of the chills and all of the emotions about the potential that Ryan Zimmerman, that could have been his last game in his career. You all know I shared last week a little bit of DC sports trivia, but Ryan Zimmerman is one of the very few athletes in DC that has been there over 10 years. We know an even smaller few that's been in the district for their entire career. So we wish him nothing but the best. You all know I got all of the super feels seeing him tear up. I was like, oh man. So I see your comment here, Wallace, wishing he played one more to get to 1,800. It was definitely an emotional moment. You can tell for Ryan Zimmerman. I'm sure as well for his family, and I'm sure as well for the fans. Like I said, you always get the feels when you see tears coming. But we know there's a lot of emotion going on there. Wanted to share that clip because I thought it was such a special moment to see him get emotional and to see the amazing Washington Nationals fans show all love to Ryan Zimmerman. Like Joy says here, Zimmerman, we thank you. Been totally amazing and awesome. So we'll see what happens, but hey, he's going to always be a Washington National. And because they actually won a World Series, he's always going to be a World Series champion. So remains to be seen. Wallace, I see your question here. Is he retiring or is he just going to be a free agent? I think they're trying to figure that out now. I know that based on reports, Ryan was very clear he didn't want to play anywhere else. So if this is indeed it, he might be heading on to retirement. So we shall see. We shall see. Wizards fans, are you in? Are you in? Tap in, all of your Wizards fans. As you see, Joy has put in the chat, make sure you like, love, and share the show because I absolutely need to know that you are here. We're talking all of your favorite DC sports. Wizards fans, have you checked in? Have you checked in, Wizards fans? Want to make sure you all have. So, the Wizards have played a preseason game. We do have some footage from one of the practices this week. And I got something to say. But I want you all to watch this clip first.
Cardinals. Hell of a year, boys.
I figured you all might like to see a bit of the footage from practice. It's always fun to see that being showcased and being shared. I see your comment, David. Let's go play that defense. Hey, listen, let me say something. Okay, let me say something. This is what I absolutely wanted to share about preseason game one, and check in if you saw and watched preseason game one. And we definitely got to make sure before we get in that, I'm going to show the rest of the schedule. You know, I've showed it here on the show before, but I definitely want you all to check it out so you don't miss any of the preseason. So they've gotten through preseason game one, and then we have 3 more. The Knicks on Saturday, then the Raptors on the 12th, and then the Knicks again to close out preseason. And everybody played in the preseason. First game, I said, "Oh, okay." Now is when you start to see when things start to shift in terms of practices or norms from different teams, because everybody got some minutes in preseason game one. It wasn't like, okay, we're going to wait, or you're going to, not play in preseason at all. I said, oh, okay. Definitely someone else in charge, because you definitely won't see that under other coaching staffs, if you will. So I was okay. Everybody's playing. That's cool. We shall see. All right. But it's still preseason. I definitely wanted to mention a player whom I was actually pretty impressed with last year, and that's Daniel Gafford. A media colleague of mine, Kareem Copeland, who writes for the Washington Post, did an article on Daniel Gafford. Check it out if you haven't already. And, it talked about, and just in summary, Daniel Gafford admitting that he was in a very dark place when he was, during his last kind of playing time in Chicago, and was just trying to figure out, where could he have a place in the league. And so I think that was one trade that the Washington Wizards took advantage of in March that really helped the team. I'm sure it absolutely helped Daniel Gafford just from an overall morale perspective. And I'm looking forward to his contributions this year. Of course, plenty of new players on the team, like we've been talking about since the off season and everything. But I'm looking forward to what he will bring. In the 23 games that Gafford played, he averaged 10 points, 5 rebounds, 1 block in 17 minutes. I definitely felt like there was a difference when he was out on the court. So I wanted to share that. I said, you know what? All right, now that basketball is getting into it, who am I looking forward to? I want to see Daniel Gafford. I do. And that is one of, the Wizards historically don't win trades. But I think that was definitely a steal for certain. And we can get with that. We're going to see what happens. Nothing to get too excited about, per usual. I mean, it's just the preseason. But I was also impressed with the fact that, everybody else played. Now, I see Russ's comment here where he has to play limited minutes. Yeah, he does. But I like him. I was like, you know what? Daniel Gafford is all right. Maybe that'll help me get into it a little bit, because I'm always excited about basketball season. It's sometimes the Wizards basketball season that sometimes throw me off. Now, Ron, I love your comment here. You want to see Dinwiddie in a Brad backcourt. Yeah, I think everybody's waiting to see how that turns out. I'm kind of like, I don't know. I am of of very little expectation around here. You can tell the energy is picking up. I've talked to people around that are able to go to practice on a regular basis, and it's kind of like, okay, things are electric, things are this and that. You hear that all the time, but it's like, okay, tell me what the differences are in terms of the previous coach and now with Coach Unseld Jr. And they're playing and doing what they should be doing all practice long. And I'll leave that there. So more to come, more to see. That's kind of all I got with that. It's just still so early, and it probably could be me. I'm just gonna be honest. Sometimes some of these things, it's like, hey, listen, when you gotta toe the line a little bit between media and fan, it's like, ask me in November. Matter of fact, ask me December 6th, and then I'll tell you how I really feel. Anyway, I know that is probably like super morbid, but anyway, I will be tuning in for the rest of the preseason games. So I was glad that I was able to catch the first one. So we'll see what happens. Now, Washington football fans, the rest of this episode is for you. Washington football fans, check in. Washington football fans. Are you all still riding high from the win on Sunday? Here's what I wanted to mention. It's not so often when you are watching a Washington football team game, especially when the team is away, that you can say, dang, they're doing, the fans are absolutely in the building. Shout out to the Washington football team fans that took over the Mercedes-Benz Stadium this past Sunday. I heard y'all loud and clear. I was like, wow. I don't recall ever really feeling like, and I know that's probably bad, right? But it's the truth. I don't recall ever feeling like, wow, that's the Washington football team fans that you hear. But this go around, that's absolutely what was happening and what was going on. Listen, just when I thought the injury bug wasn't going to hit this team, it did. Man, so who we have on, we know Torrey McTyer, John Bostic out for the season. We know that Logan Thomas is out for at least 4 weeks. I've seen all kinds of updates, and today has been a crazy day for me. But the wide receiver room is a little tight. A room that had so much going on. Now they down. Diami Brown is hurt. Cam Sims is hurt. Everybody is hurt. It's a lot going on, a lot of injuries. So Sunday's game was clearly a battle. They had to get in the trenches for that game because I was like, oh, they started dropping like flies. Now, truth be told, the Atlanta Falcons had some injuries as well. I was seeing those updates today as they were preparing to go to London. But I was like, well, geez, now is not the time for the Washington football team to be dealing with a lot of injuries. It's just not. So hopefully, and I see, Leon, I see your comment here about pulling other folks from the practice squad. Hey, listen, something is going to have to happen. People are going to have to start coming up and really showing off and making a statement, because I just was not imagining that the team would go through that many injuries, of course, this early in the season. But other teams are dealing with injuries as well. It's not like it's just Washington football. Other teams are dealing with this as well, and it happens. Injuries happen. Football is a brutal sport, so these things happen. But it's absolutely always, as you all know, it's next man up. It's just the next man up. The only thing is, I just have to throw this in there because I have to throw it in there. There's no other next man up for Dustin Hopkins, okay? I just have to say that and get that off my chest. There's no other next man up. I had to laugh at myself. Next man up for Dustin Hopkins. He's the kicker. So there's that. Here's another thing I wanted to mention about just the team overall. Never in a million years would I have thought that the offense would have to bail out the defense. That is what's really, really shocking me. That is probably, and it's probably shocking all of you as well. I mean, that is something that I know I did not anticipate at all, is that the offense really has to step up to win these games because the defense is just bad right now. And I don't know if any of you listened to the John Keim report from the other day. We had Fred Smoot on there. You all know how I am about Smoot. But Smoot had some really good feet. He had some great insight to what's going on with the defense, specifically the secondary. And it was so interesting to hear his thoughts on who should go where. Definitely, Smoot's insight on Landon Collins being moved to linebacker. He moves to linebacker, then he's instantly the best linebacker there. Moving Cameron Curl back to strong safety. He talked about moving Kendall Fuller to free safety. And it was also very telling what he said. He said, you all have to remember the only defensive player from that side, from that position group we're talking about that played last year is Cam Curl. Because Landon Collins played, but he got hurt. So these are new guys, all new guys. They're all playing new together. And it's going to take a minute. And now what's happening is also, yes, it's going to take a minute to get it together. But also with that, the coaching isn't helping to the players' strengths. So I was very compelled. I was compelled to hear that. I was like, wow, okay. Because as soon as Smoot started getting into where other players could potentially go based on their strengths, not based on where they want to go, not based on where you think they should go, based on where they're strong, I was like, this is compelling. Coupling that. So in my mind, I'm like, okay, point blank, plain and simple, people are playing out of position. People are not playing in the positions in which they are strong. That's telling. Then the point about the miscommunication and that folks had not played together. They're still very new to the Washington football team. I thought that was important, a very important point as well. Extremely important point. So wanted to bring that up and get you all's thoughts on that. It's got to be fixed. It's got to be fixed because the roster does not get any easier. So that moves us on to the conversation about specifically this Sunday. And I absolutely want to make sure I get you all. We love to play this one. We love to play this one because we play what's your one word on the Washington football update on Monday, because that's the initial reaction show. So we play what's your one word on Monday. So listen, we played that right after the game. Bold predictions for this Sunday, though. Bold predictions. We're going to keep that on the DC Sports Edition. Your bold predictions for Sunday against the Saints. Now, where I was interested, I said, what happened? Because I thought the Saints were winning. But what it seems like happening is I went back and looked at the video, watched the recording. I said, let me see what's happening here. Daniel Jones did some Daniel Jones types of things. Daniel Jones did to the Saints what he normally does to the Washington football team. That's what happened. That's what happened. Now, I still think that was not, that could have been an any given Sunday sort of deal. I don't think the defense, I don't think they were ready for Daniel Jones. I think they really underestimated Daniel Jones. And I think it was just truly not even in their character to play so poorly late in the game like that. But the Giants ended up getting them in overtime. So definitely want to see you all's bold predictions. Johnny Leon Hill, defense gets 3 takeaways. They need to take all of it away. All of it. Taylor Heineke and Terry McLaurin goes off again. Listen, where would this team be without Terry McLaurin? My goodness, my goodness. Damon, 42-35, Washington. Can D. Hopkins make it right? Can he make it right? Joyce said we win. It don't even matter. But with grace for D. Hop, can he make it right? I don't know. I don't know if he can make it right at all, you guys. But he needs to do something. Please. For all of us, to whom it may concern, right? You guys, listen. We have a few announcements that we have to get through. Absolutely have to get through because, as you all know, was a couple big announcements this week. So Coaching from the Couch, now it's a series, turned 3 years old. Now the business, CWall Sports and Entertainment, is not 3. CWall Sports and Entertainment is 4. The business anniversary is in March. It's March the 6th. So October the 4th is Coaching from the Couch, the 3-year anniversary just this past week. And so along with that announcement came this announcement here that we're now on cable every Friday. So if you miss the DC Sports Edition, DMV Sports Edition, or if you miss the Washington football update, guess what you can do? You can turn, if you have Fios, you can turn on your TV on a Friday afternoon. If you have Xfinity, you can turn that on and you can absolutely catch the show there. Make sure you tell everybody, because at this point, there is just no reason to miss this show. Not ever, 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 ever. You can get on here on cable every Friday. Here's the details. Of course, we have the details all over social media as well. Also, have to shout out a very, very special person. My mama. Today is my mother's birthday, everybody. October the 7th. It is my mom's birthday. So if you have not already, please tell Mama Waller happy birthday. You all know she watches every single show. She prays for me, with me before every single show. It does not matter if it is this show or somebody else's show. My mama is on the phone and she like, we gonna pray. So happy birthday, Mama. We're going to have some fun. We're going to have some fun because y'all know fun is something like my middle name. Now, isn't it? Those that know me. So you guys, listen, we have come to the conclusion of this week's edition of Coaching from the Couch, your DC Sports Weekly. You guys, listen now. I'm like, I don't know when I'm going to see you. Am I going to see you tomorrow? I'm going to see you Monday. I'm definitely going to see you guys on Monday after the Washington football team takes on the Saints. You guys have a blessed rest of your week.
You're not on the field, court, or ice. You're on the couch. From PG to DC, this is Coaching from the Couch with your host, CWall. Delivering coverage for all DC sports teams from the hometown perspective. Nats, Skins, Mystics, DC United, Washington Wizards, caps, booty stink.
My name's CWall, I'm a PG girl. Down for my skins, I don't know if you heard. If you like watching sports, then I am your girl. Sit down on the couch if you not on the field. Cold on the ice, picking any sport that you want. Know that I cover it tight. What would you like? From baseball to football and more. The list can go on the whole night. Big shouts out to my HBCU fam. Never forget who I am through the wins and the losses, the highs and the lows. We gotta stay strong, so I stay 10 toes. Make the competition back. The way I kick it, make them mad, man. CWall and we live and direct. Sit back on the couch and relax. Come on.